what's good, YouTube? I'm going to start reviewing the Valuetainment series, Mafia States of America. I'm Mac. I'll be joined by my co-host Mike. Plan to do 5 videos on a 10-episode series. Major spoiler alert. Also, on the first video, I recorded the whole thing with the mic in front of my face. But you live and you learn. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and feel free to comment. So yeah, we watched the preview and watched the first 2 episodes. First chapter. Roundabout. The reason this happened, Michael had an interview with that Pat Bet David, and Sammy seen it, started going absolutely mad. He was bringing that Pat Bet David that was on the phone for like 2.5 hours. And then after all the time, they finally got this going on. But I like the bit when they were all talking in the beginning, and he just sends for Michael, and he's like, "Yeah, his stepdad." You know, doing that bit, so it's like, you could just tell there's no need for that whatsoever. Yeah.
They were idols to me growing up. His stepdad, Sonny Franzese.
Oh yeah, I've never known any other father.
And let me straighten something out. I don't know any father but Sonny Franzese. It's the only father I know from the time. Yeah. Don't know anyone else.
Yeah, you don't like that. You don't like that. But I like the way it opens up with a Reagan speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
The reasons for the mob's success are clear. Its tactics and techniques are well known. Organization and discipline, vows of secrecy and loyalty, insulation of its leaders from direct criminal involvement, bribery and corruption of law enforcement and public officials. The time has come to cripple the power of the mob in America.
But yeah, Sammy seems to I think Sammy's on to Michael from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That seems to like Michael, I don't think, for some reason.
Yeah, he probably looks down on him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Point when he brings up about, you know, the books, they were closed from 1955 to 1975.
Yeah.
Then when they were opened, Michael was in the first batch.
Yeah.
And you know,
1975.
and before, I've always heard Sammy say, "Oh, you jumped a lot of guys, you jumped a lot of guys."
Yeah.
But I never clocked that he jumped Sammy. You know what I mean? I didn't know when Sammy got made.
Because he didn't get made until 1976, and the second batch was 1976.
Yeah. So that would have been in like the 30. So 10 would have got made in 75, 10 in 76, and he got made in the next batch. So like between.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't understand why he kept saying, making a big deal about the favor as well. Yeah. Like that's why he was making a big deal about he got made. His dad. Asked him for a favor. Yeah, it was a big deal that his dad got it made. So
I don't understand what Michael's problem with that was. Because you know when he was like, he says, he's like, your dad proposed to get a favour. No, he asked for a favour to get you proposed.
And he's like, nah, well, he's like, oh, it's the same thing for...
When Junior proposed his son, is that a favour? When Joe Colombo proposed his son Anthony, was that a favor?
No.
But when he goes,
and he was like, no, because they were the bosses of the family. And Sonny's like, no, that they were the bosses of the family. They were the bosses of the family. So it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
And he's right.
They're not asking for favors. They're
doing that favour. Yeah, they committing that act. They don't have to ask no one. It's their say so. But whereas your dad's the underboss, he has to ask someone. Yeah. And Michael couldn't accept it. He was like, no, but you didn't ask for a favour. And it was like, bro, he clearly asked for a favour. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And you got a good favour because you got in the first batch.
Yeah, exactly.
You was like,
exactly, but definitely because it's the first batch as well. Yeah. First batch, as soon as the books got opened.
Can you imagine that, bro? Imagine this show. Imagine like Prohibition's ended in what, the 50s around. Now, when did Prohibition end? The 30s?
Yeah, 30s.
So yeah, it's 20-something years after Prohibition, the books are closed, yeah? And then you've been doing this life of crime, doing whatever you've done, in and out of jail, committing madness, thinking as soon as them books open, I've got to be the guy. You know, you're this mad thug just doing whatever nonsense these lot got you doing, yeah? And then boom, some sweet cake fresh out of medical school, Michael Franzese comes in.
24 years old.
24 years, like, but by Sammy say so, never committed a crime in his life, never had a fight.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Yeah, man.
It pissed me off. Like, he said, like, episode 2, chapter 6, it's called Earned His Bones, and that's it. How did Michael earn his bones? He's 24 years old, How did he earn his bonus?
Yeah, see, and this is another interesting fact they brought up. So when you earn your bonus, obviously, say you're owed, then you got to one, yeah? Allegedly.
I don't know if it's like, I don't know if
Is
it's
that not a
exactly
guarantee? Is that
killing
just
or
something the
killing
movies tell
somebody,
you?
but-
Is that just like what we see through Goodfellas and that?
I don't know if it's
Because he does
specifically body, but you know, I think it's
carry out an act for the
putting in a lot of work at the very least. You know,
Yeah.
putting in a lot of work. You know, at least earning a lot of money.
yeah,
you know,
busting some heads.
Yeah, you know, doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
But, you know, putting in a lot of work. You know, out there.
No, that's what I always wonder. Because say so let's just like we were just saying, say in 75, 10 people get major. In 76, another 20 people get major. Then 77, another 10 people get made, let's just say, yeah. So that's 40 people in 3 years. That's a lot of that's got to be done just to certify you're right. So it can't be.
No, it's definitely not that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like you
that's
said
like,
there, it's because Michael is fresh out of college and everything like that. So
Yeah.
he's obviously not been on the street. He's not been making
he's
money,
not
doing all
accustomed
this
to
shit.
the roads and
So what's he been doing? He's not been earning his bones. He's not been putting in work.
yeah, he ain't got a rep on the street.
Yeah.
He ain't been
So
like no debt
it's not
collecting,
that,
no
innit? Like, it
union
can't be
work.
that.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Like how much. I suppose Sammy's
Like,
like, how
what
much
you-
of a favour did you actually get?
Yeah, what you been doing, bro?
And I've watched a lot of Michael Franzese. I have, right? Do you know what? I've watched loads of them, but I watched a YouTube channel on that. And he's always spoke as if he got into the life to save his dad.
Mm.
And he always talks about they were doing this Italian rally and that. And I'm guessing it was trying to get like, representation that Italians are getting mistreated and that. Because his dad was wrongly looked up, do you know what I'm saying? But he's always talked about he got involved in a life to get him out of jail. And I was thinking, oh, was it to like get money for a good lawyer?
Mm.
Was it whatever, yeah. But Sammy hit the nail on the head. And I know it's probably so obvious once you hear it, but you got brought in to look after your dad's affairs.
Mm.
Do you know your dad was in jail? You know how it is. You can't trust no one. You're gonna be getting bummed.
Yeah, when Sammy was saying it, he was sitting there nodding, so
Yeah. So
we weren't denying it.
Your father, Sonny Franzese, who was the underboss, who was wrongly convicted on something, wanted to do him a favor. So you could take care of your father's businesses or business transactions or money on the street.
Another thing I noticed as well, like Mike, Sammy seems to know like obviously Sammy's obviously a proper, he's a real mafia. Yeah, he's a real mafia guy. Like he knows all the history of the mafia. He's lived the life. He knows
it's
the
in
life.
him. It's in
Yeah.
him.
Whereas he's sitting there schooling Michael about everything about the history, and Michael doesn't know a thing about anything.
No, he don't seem to have a lot of answers, man.
No.
Oh no, do you know what? Oh, another's a good bit. Do you know another bit? Sammy's making me laugh on this show. Do you know when he goes, says to him, when they say they take the oath, he says, this comes over God, country, family, they give that if your the mum's dying by the bedside and we call you, yada yada, you gotta come. And then, look, Michael's all like, what's that? No, we didn't say God.
Yeah.
Like, Sammy just looks at, all right, and so thousands of people been made, but for you they changed it. He goes, I know you love God, but keep it real, whatever. He's like, no, I'd say it, but say it when he gets, the bit when he gets him. That bit was jokes, bro.
He's like, oh, no, I was just using your words.
Yeah, you wouldn't, like, come on, man. You can't admit defeat.
Yeah, it's just Sammy's making him look real silly, like.
Including God.
Well, they didn't mention God to me at that
I
time.
think they do it at every thing. In other words,
mention God.
all right, maybe you want to leave God out. But
No, they didn't mention God.
okay,
No,
so they
have
didn't
to
mention it.
it.
But it's
I
above
listen,
God to
if
every
they-
single wise guy who got made but you.
If we're taking an oath, we're saying that we're putting that life above God, above family. That's
Well, I
not.
got you to admit the God part, but
No. Well, I'm using your words. I didn't take that
You
specific.
use
oath.
my words. You just
I didn't
popped it
take-
out of your mouth.
I didn't.
Yeah, see, I never understood the sit down. Like, I get it, don't get me wrong, I get it. It's something to catch in. It's 2x Mafia, mother. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, sit down, like, we're doing something on it right now. I get the whole point of it, yeah. But I never understood the storyline, if you will, the reasoning. But now I get it. It's Sammy calling out Michael for not being a real gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we've watched the first 2 episodes, watching the rest, now I actually get the argument.
Yeah.
Like, even though all the trailers, like, check, like, on my channel, I made a fan-made trailer.
Yeah.
And even though watching the trailer, like they've done great work on the production and that, but I was still like, but what's the sit down about?
Yeah.
But now I get it.
Yeah.
It's the whole gangster versus racketeer, like. But no, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah,
At least I wasn't ready to like Sammy the way I'm liking him. I'll be honest.
And obviously that's the thing as well. Obviously, Michael doesn't. He doesn't claim to be a gangster. He doesn't claim to be a gangster. So
Yeah, and that's why I do. That's why I like Mike. Because to be quite honest, all the nuts with that man. Do you know what I mean? That's why I sort of like Michael, because he just made millions.
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
he's always said he's a money man. He makes money, and like
Yeah, and he had some businesses. He had like a filmmaking business. He
Yeah.
made films. Yeah, he was living a high life, Mike. Jets, helicopters. Check how we pulled this story. I got this on gangster shit. Yeah, picked up a car. I think. Yeah, drove us to a helicopter. Yeah, got a helicopter. Took her to the city. They've gone out for food, and then. Yeah, she goes, "Are we getting dessert or something?" He's like, "No, I never have food and dessert in the same place," or some shit like that. And then he's took her somewhere else, you know, and some fly shit. I'm thinking, oh, this is, I think they had a night in the private jet. He got her back before work. They just
crazy.
so like they globetrot, you know, living that life. That's what so like.
So weird.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I looked into his life, like the shit they seized and that. Like, oh Jesus, he was putting it off, man. Flamboyant.
Yeah.
Not bait, like not got it all, like trying to floss, but you know the lifestyle, just pimping, man.
That's different. Isn't it?
I think that's where he met his wife. He's with now. In one of the films he was making, this film company. Yeah. So do you know the success level and like no matter what, right? I know Sammy got mad. You know what? When just because you see the bit when Michael mentions agent, he just mentions agents, yeah. And then you see Sammy alert, and he's like, "Oh, yeah." And then it gets to the point, "Oh, you're a rat. You're a rat."
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I do get it. You stood up. You admitted. He admit, so you broke your oath because you admitted being in the life of crime. But by your testimony, personally, you never put anyone behind bars. So I think that's what's hurting Sammy because you put Bearman away. I think.
Exactly. Like what Sammy in his rap business? Like,
Yeah,
why is he so-
like you are a government witness protection. Like Michael was never on witness protection.
What exactly? So why is he so angry about
Do you
him?
know what I mean?
Why is he so angry about
Yeah,
him?
that's the lie bit. So I'm with Sammy on a lot. Like you know the oath, the little bit about the oath. You're lying
why
about.
is he so angry at Michael though?
He's fuming, isn't he? Like you see it. Like the minute it's mentioned, he's alert. The minute agents are mentioned, it's like he goes, "I know where."
It's confusing me. It's confusing. It's making me think that Sammy was Sammy a rat or not?
No, well, I think this story has it like he heard. I think the FBI played tapes to him of Gotti, like wiretapes of Gotti, giving the order that Sammy's got to go. So Sammy was like, "What? They're trying to get rid of me? Oh no, that." Do you know what I mean?
And he snitched on everything.
Yeah, it's one of them. So when he's talking about Pappy Macy, you know, like,
Oh, okay.
do you know what I'm saying?
So that's why he's.
And he did like, I don't know if it was 16, 19, 22.
So that's why that fat cat story touches him.
Yeah, that's why you could relate to man in jail because it was like, wow, I got done the same way. In a way. Like,
That's
it's a up situation. So imagine you're, so he's the underboss. But then again, I heard Sammy was up to nonsense as well.
But why did Gotti put the hit on
I think it's something to do with the unions. You know, they were doing a union and getting the money, and I think Sammy was just like on like if people weren't on doing business where he wasn't getting his way, he was just going like Alpo with it. And Sammy once said, "This is another bit." So what I was saying, do you know the part of the sit down? The point of the sit down, he wants to call out Michael, obviously, that you're not a real G. You got brought in too early, whatever. But then at the beginning, when he's like, Sammy wants to sit down to explain the murder, why he broke it, and he wants to know why everyone, like, wants the world to know all this. And then if that happens, if he can do that, then he won, Michael won, La Cosa Nostra won. So I'm thinking, what are you talking about? None of us should be watching this. We should be not watching two made men talk about the mafia. That is like,
what are we talking about?
like, as much as we're doing this right now, this should never happen. Like, you don't make up a secret society for two brothers to jump on YouTube and talk about it.
Exactly.
Do you know what?
Like Lucky Luciano, like when he started the commission, like 100 years ago.
This was not in the plan.
Yeah.
This was not in the plan. Ugly Things chapter 4, when he's all like, I do like. I like. I don't like the way he said it, but I like what he said when he was like, Sammy sort of basically saying, "I would have went to war. I would have went to war. The government would have sent me to war, sent me to Vietnam. They would have had me killing Vietnamese."
Oh yeah.
So in his adult life, the only Vietnamese people he's met, kind, loving people. Yeah, didn't have to say the shit like how he meets them. You know about they do my hands and all that. That's some nonsense. But like, and then he tries to go like when he, and I get what he's saying. He's like, so the government lies. He's like, everyone lies. And then the way he tries to justify what they do, it's like, and you just see Michael like, it's not the same thing, Sammy. And he's like, no, but everyone lies, and everyone wants to talk about, the Mafia.
The Mafia is ugly.
This is not normal behaviour, bro. You see how much the madness and the life touched Michael's family. So his dad done all that time in jail.
How long did he end up staying in jail for?
I think out of 50 years, I think he got out for a couple bit, but broke his parole. But yeah, so his sister died of an overdose. His brother was a junkie. His brother ended up taking a stand against his dad. Yeah, dude, that's some shit, innit? That's no, but that was his real son. That wasn't his stepson. You know, that's the fucking kick in the teeth, innit, man? Loyalty's a motherfucker. Loyalty's a motherfucker.
Mafia beautiful, man.
Yeah, like I think it's chapter 1 of episode 2. Chaz does the speech. Shout out Chaz, I like Chaz. And then Michael's talking about betrayal's inevitable.
Betrayal happens all the time.
Is that inevitable?
It happens all the time.
Is it inevitable?
But that's the dream they sell you, power, money. It sounds like getting made with the best thing. He was like, I used to love the life. Still like it.
Same
Because
thing,
you got to know the
same
life.
thing with me. I love the life. I still like it.
You know what I mean? It's so jokes, like you can't come to terms with like I think he's just twisted, isn't he? He's like
Sammy.
I don't think he can accept he had to go out the way he had to went out.
Yeah, like he wishes he was still him in it.
But yeah, and did you notice, this is another weird thing, yeah? And I know this is weird, but did you notice in the first 2 episodes how much Sammy the Bull mentioned Michael's wife?
Yeah, so he was kept talking about it, like that's what I'm saying. Like he's trying to like.
You know how a man be playing,
Yeah,
like
trying to like get at him, like.
yeah, like it's like, bro, are you trying to hold a slap?
That's what I'm saying.
Like every angle, you know,
Yeah.
for no reason.
He's
For no
trying it,
reason.
man.
He'd just be
Like-
bringing his wife involved in it.
I'm saying he's trying it, man. He's trying it.
Sammy the f***ing rat.